Morning came heavy over the Ashford mansion, though to the world outside, the billionaire's estate looked as pristine and untouchable as always, a fortress of glass and stone sitting like a jewel above Central Park, yet within its walls chaos ruled, doctors shuffling in and out with weary eyes, nurses wheeling in machines that beeped and hummed without offering answers, family members whispering with fear not of losing a loved one, but of losing the vast fortune tied to his life, while Jonathan Ashford lay weak against silk pillows, his breaths shallow, his voice reduced to rasps that barely reached his children's ears, and still none of the 20 medical minds could explain what was happening, though each offered theories: rare cardiac arrhythmias, hidden tumors, genetic disorders, even exotic viruses. But tests kept coming back inconclusive, machines kept contradicting themselves, and the man who once commanded rooms full of presidents and kings now seemed like a fragile shell of himself, trapped in a mystery no one could decode. And still there was Miriam, moving quietly, unseen yet always present, changing linens, serving tea, adjusting drapes, her sharp eyes cataloging everything the doctors overlooked, every flicker of light, every strange smell, every tremor in his body that seemed less like illness and more like reaction. And though she longed to speak, to tell them that something in that room itself was sick, she knew they would dismiss her, just as they always had, for in their world she was nothing more than a servant, a shadow in the halls, someone invisible until she forgot her place, and yet Miriam carried something heavier than dusted chandeliers or polished silver trays. She carried the memory of a life before service, a life in which she had cared for her younger brother in a crumbling Baltimore apartment, watching helplessly as he convulsed night after night under the same mysterious symptoms Jonathan now displayed, symptoms doctors had shrugged off as stress or poor diet until it was too late and the boy had died before turning 20. And Miriam had sworn then that if she ever saw that pattern again, she would never remain silent, and so she began to piece the puzzle together in her mind, the way Jonathan's breath caught when the chandelier hummed, the way his skin grew clammy only in certain rooms of the house, the way the episodes worsened not after meals but after long hours in his study where certain fixtures glowed faintly, and she remembered the day months ago when a new electrician had been called in after a sudden fault in the mansion's wiring. A man who introduced himself as a contractor but whose eyes darted nervously, whose voice carried a false confidence, and who spent hours unsupervised in the one place Jonathan worked late into the night, and as she replayed it in her mind, Miriam realized the doctors weren't missing an illness at all, they were missing a crime, one committed in silence, one designed to slip by. Night fell heavy over the Ashford mansion, the kind of velvet dark silence that seemed to suffocate every room, and by then 20 doctors